Hello. Happy day 33, getting very close. Hopefully you were able to go and read a couple pages. This part right here, what we're going to be reading today, is where Peter gets a little puffed up with pride. Jesus goes into the Garden of Gethsemane, and then on page 71, and then Jesus is betrayed and then arrested. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And if you guys have gone to church before, I guarantee you've heard at least parts of these stories. Mm-hmm. But where it starts out, where it says Jesus foretells Peter's denial, Jesus basically goes and says, "You will all fall away, for it is written." And it goes and says, "I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered." And when Jesus says that, that's mm-hmm. like kind of like a duh. Like if you go and you take out a shepherd, yeah, the sheep are going to be gone. Same thing like a parent. You go and you take out a parent, then the kids can be scattered. You take out a teacher, and then the students can be scattered. Like if you go after the leader, mm-hmm. then it messes other things up because the leader's been given that position and is hopefully helping out. So in this spot where Peter is sitting here, Jesus is saying, "Hey, you guys are gonna go and scatter, and when I go down, you guys are scattering everywhere." And Peter says, "No way. Others might fall away. I'm not going to." And Jesus is like, "Oh, Peter." Mm-hmm. He's like, "Truly, I tell you, this very night, before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." Mm-hmm. And Peter's like, "No way. If I must die with you, I will not deny you." And Jesus is saying, and Peter's saying all these things, and Peter's intent is, Peter's not trying to be a jerk. He's just saying like, no, God, I won't do this. And the thing is with pride, yeah, we think we can do things, but Peter's intention was not to mess up. However, the thing is that when you're all of a sudden, if people are getting in your face, you think you might die, you might change some of your opinions, some of your viewpoints. And that's what happened here with Peter. Is you're going to find out later on that Peter gets put in a tough spot, and he definitely does what he said he wouldn't do right here before the garden.
And I think too, like there will be times in your life where people are going to ask you, "So, are you a Christian? So, are you a Jesus follower?" And that might feel intimidating, and you might feel like you want to shy away, but I encourage you to be brave and say, "Yes, I am. Let me tell you about the hope and the joy that I have."
Yeah, because saying about what you believe isn't so bad. It's when you start to get made fun of and pushed back, and when they start to ask questions that you don't know the answers to. And so it's a good thing that when you are reading the Bible, because the more you read, the more you will understand, and there's more questions you can answer. And the thing is at the end of the day, you don't have to make up answers, but as you're walking with God, He's going to take care of things, especially when you hang out pretty close to Him.
Yeah. So continuing on the bottom of page 71 and 72, this is talking about Jesus praying in Gethsemane. So He took Peter, James, and John, which we kind of see a pattern of Him taking those 3. We've talked about like having your, core best friends, the people that you can share everything with, and it seems like that's been Peter, James, and John along the way. So Jesus is really wrestling. He knows that the time has come for Him to be arrested and put to death. His Father has told Him everything that He must go through for the sake of us. And He's really struggling. He's fully God, but He's fully man too. So He's experiencing fear and all these feelings. And so He tells them, "My soul is very sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and watch." So He's telling them, keep watch while I go pray.
And He's doing that. And his closest friends, Jesus is sitting there praying, and his closest friends, they're tired and they can't stay awake. They don't figure out a way to stay awake. They end up sleeping after they say they wouldn't.
And so then you see at the middle of the paragraph, Jesus cries out to Father God, and He says, "Abba," which is like Daddy, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I will, but what you will. And he's really struggling. He knows he's going to be crucified. And so he's crying out in despair to the Father. But it says, not what I will, but what you will. So in the end, it's full surrender. And I think sometimes when we go through really hard times and we want God to answer our prayers a certain way, and we sit here, do this, do this, do this, I think it's very important that we always back it up with, not my will, but yours be done. Because his will is always going to be better than anything that we think we know for ourselves. Is there anything you wanted to add to that? So continuing on, it says, and he came and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, Simon, are you asleep? Could you not watch for 1 hour? Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. And that goes back to what Mr. Haley was talking about. You know, we have every intention on doing what's right, but our flesh is weak. We're sinners. We struggle still with temptation. So then he went back and he prayed again, saying the same words to God, take this cup. And again, he went back and found them sleeping. Then he came a third time and told them, are you still sleeping and taking your rest? It's enough. The hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. So he knew what was going on behind the scenes. He says, rise, let us be going, and see my betrayer is at hand.
And the last part for today is bottom of page 72, and it goes into 73. It talks about the betrayal and the arrest of Jesus. And this is when it starts. Judas went, told the bad guys, hey, this is where he's going to be. And then this is Mark definitely wraps it up quick, but goes and shares where he's at.
So the Judas and all of the soldiers come, and the disciples, they're like super defensive. You're not going to take Jesus. He's our best friend. He's our leader, our teacher. And so one of those struck one of the soldiers' ears and cut his ear off. And it says, Jesus said to them, have you come out on us against a robber with swords and clubs to capture me? Day after day I was with you all in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me. But let the scriptures be fulfilled. They all left him and fled. And it says in here that, you know, this soldier got his ear cut off. But in another gospel telling the same story, Jesus actually reaches out and heals this soldier's ear. So all of the soldiers and Judas and all of the disciples, they witness one more miracle. And I just wonder what those soldiers may have thought when they saw that miracle taking place right before their eyes. Right?
Yeah. For next time, what we're going to be reading is finishing up page 73, and then finishing up chapter 14. So 73, 74, and then part of 75. So we'll finish up chapter 14 next time. Thank you guys.
Bye.